right, welcome to this week's edition of the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 106.3 FM KXNO. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday. We are actually live at the Delta Waterfowl Event. It's happening at the Iowa Event Center all weekend. They had a great crowd out here for Friday night for the opener, and I'm telling you, the floor looks spiffy. There's duck boats, there's duck blinds, calls, decoys, camo, puppies, and I got to be honest with you, when I was out here setting up yesterday, the dogs kind of tugged at my heartstring a little bit. Who does not like the puppies? Come on, pack up the kids, bring the wife, and come out here and see some neat things. We're going to be talking with Chris Williams. He's the senior director for the industry for Delta Waterfowl, and we got a whole lineup. So we're going to be talking to everything you would ever want to know about ducks and geese and waterfowl. We're going to cover it in the next 2 hours here on KXNO Radio. Andrew's manning the phones back down there. We are live on the live stream. John, good morning. I see you on the messenger. Good to see you. Thanks for everybody checking that out. Always appreciate you all doing that. And we're going to get ready to rock. Our first guest is Chris Williams. And Chris, I got to tell you, welcome to Des Moines.
Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure. I've been to Iowa several times, but we're having a wonderful time, and everybody here could not be kinder.
Iowa nice. You know, there's a lot of nice folks in Iowa, and people, they tend to gravitate to the outdoors. They love anything outdoor recreation, angling, hunting. You know, it's just a good state for that. And there was a lot of people excited that you guys were going to first time here as far as Delta Waterfowl for having the convention or the Expo, right?
100%. We've got a huge, following as far as our local chapters and volunteers and members within the region. But it's the first time we've been here doing, the Duck Hunters Expo. It's our 5th year, and it's first time in Iowa. And it's if yesterday was the tail of the tape and everything else, it's going to be a exciting next 2 days.
Yeah, you're going to do well. I was so impressed. Kristen, I got in a little early and I got to walk the floor. There's a puppy. Hey, puppy. It's so neat to see the puppies. Everything looks great. Plenty of spacing. You got a ton of vendors in here. Staff is here to answer questions. And you guys, I mean, why don't we just Chris Leverdowski in Pennsylvania. Happy birthday, Chris. Happy birthday, buddy. Good to see you. Jeremy Lee, Racks and Tracks Taxidermy. How you doing, Jeremy? Good morning, and thanks for chiming in. What is Delta Waterfowl for the folks that don't know?
Man, Delta Waterfowl is the oldest waterfowl conservation organization in North America.
Really?
Oldest organization, over 115 years old. We pride ourselves as the Duck Hunters organization, and Delta's a science-based and research conservation organization that our mission is 2 things. We want to protect ducks and duck hunters.
Yeah.
Right? And so for us, if we don't advocate for waterfowl hunters and the spaces that they utilize and all the things that come along with it, we're not doing our part.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we're doing our part as conservation stewards to put ducks back into fall flight, to make sure they have those nesting abilities, to make sure that the predators come off the landscape so that they can have a successful hatch. But we also want to introduce new folks to this organization, to what you and I have grown to love for so many years.
Yeah.
And if we don't have our membership and we don't have those folks doing and coming and enjoying what we have, truthfully, the rest of it's probably all for naught.
I'm 62. I'm not going to ask you how old you are on radio.
46 in December.
Are you really?
Yep.
You aged well.
Now,
you age well.
That's debatable depending on what time of day it is.
It was there for a while. The outdoors, as far as people recreating and stuff, was starting to wane a little bit. People were kind of losing that generational feel and stuff. And then I always say the miracle of COVID was the fact that the only thing people felt safe to do was to get out and hunt and fish.
100%.
And that, if there was ever a blessing for something as terrible as that event in our country's history, it was getting people back into hunting and fishing.
It is, and I think you're absolutely correct. We've seen that trend as well through different metrics, actually. So it's not just getting out, right? We've seen it in some other places throughout the organization. I've been very fortunate to be here for 16 years now, so I can tell you when we had when I came to work here, we had 37 staff members. We have over 100 today.
Yeah.
So that tells you that, 1, the organization is growing, and 2, there's a need, right? You don't hire folks if you don't have a need for them.
Right.
And so, but to your point about the COVID, I think one thing that we still have to continue to concentrate on it. Let's call it we're 5 years out of that situation. One of the things we have to concentrate on. It's great for those folks that have gotten out in the field. We have to keep them there.
Oh yeah.
That's why R3 is so important, right?
Yeah.
recruitment, retention, and reactivation.
Right.
Well, now you and I are talking about the retention part of it. You know, so we have to continue to advocate for those folks and find those opportunities for them.
Well, and I think opportunity is the key word. You know, the biggest criticism or biggest gripe I hear from people around the country is access.
Right.
You know, and that I don't think that's, you know, I'm 62, like I said. So when I grew up, it was a lot easier to, you know, knock on a door, and you know, people didn't, you know, they didn't mind doing that. Now it's hard to do that, and I always recommend if someone's looking for private land. You know, I was 6, 7 months before the season starts. You know, we were talking about Onyx before the show. Onyx is a great tool because you can actually look that tool up and you can see the landowner's information and everything. Send them a nice letter. You know, 6 months out, 7 months out, send them a letter. You know, give them a resume, your hunter education, references, willing to sign a liability waiver, and if you do that, you've separated yourself from 99.9% of the people out there.
I've always told people that when we get into the conversation of access, that doing things like you're talking about, everybody thinks the ways of the 70s of bringing the farmer a country ham, that's outdated. Let me tell everyone, it's not outdated.
No.
But to your point, it's no different than presenting yourself to when you apply for a job in the real world, right?
Yeah.
You want to present a nice cover letter, nice CV, your resume, all the things. Guess what? You're doing the same thing. You're asking somebody to let you onto their property,
right?
Their private property that they have a liability.
That's their home.
The least you could do is present the best foot forward out of the gate.
Yeah, and you know, listen, we're all ambassadors for each other too.
100%.
You know, so when we're out there, whether we're fishing or hunting, you know, we want to make sure that we're presenting the outdoors in the best light possible.
That's it.
And that goes a country mile with folks.
100%, because everybody's watching what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You know, our staff talks about it and we joke, but it's the truth. It's like, you know, if I go put gas in my pickup truck at the store, regardless of where you're at, when somebody turns around and sees you driving that Delta truck or they have that Delta cap on, guess what? You're now the Delta Waterfowl guy.
Yeah, if you got camo on, you're part of the club.
100%.
You got to represent.
Well, the other thing real quickly about the access piece is, you know, our chief policy officer, who I think you're going to have on later this morning, John, he told a story years ago when the question came up about, you know, it just seems like there's nowhere to go. And then the follow-up was, well, there's too many hunters. We don't have anywhere to go. And John said, hold on a minute. Number one, numbers don't lie. We know that the hunter recruitment or the hunter numbers and license sales numbers are down.
Right.
He said, so to put this in perspective, he said, you used to have 100 hunters in a spot the size of the Superdome.
Mm-hmm.
They could spread out and do what they wanted to. He said, now you still have the same 100 hunters, but they're in a spot the size of a shoebox.
Right.
And so that's the view you see. They don't have anywhere to go.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Jeremy Lee, good to see you. Fishing Dave, good morning. Dale Griffin, how you doing? Steven, good morning. Tell Anthony I said hi. They're watching from the camper. Always good to see that. I always like it when they message me and tell me they're listening in the turkey blind or the deer stand and stuff. That's the best compliment.
At least you know they care.
Yeah, I mean that's the best compliment you can get. We're visiting with Chris Williams. He's the senior director of the industry partnerships. Man, I've been doing this for 28 years professionally, and it's just when I first started, I can still remember that like it was yesterday. You know, you could call a business up and talk to the owner and have about 10, 15-minute great conversation, and you could start a relationship. Now, you got to go through so many layers of people, and a lot of the people, I hate to say this, but it's true, a lot of the people you have to go through don't even hunt and fish. So they really don't know what value or what you're talking about to them.
I will say, and this might be the waterfowl space.
Yeah.
Okay? But I see what you're describing in other arenas that I won't go down. In conservation, but in this space right here, I will say that I would give you a good 95% of the folks that I deal with and have the honor to communicate with.
They're hunters.
They're getting out in the field.
But that's important.
And it's important because they know what you and I, the end user, are looking for.
Right.
You know, and so it's this space has changed. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our partners here are truly a blessing to the organization and many other NGOs. Frankly, they're not. You know, these Heavy Shots, our presenting sponsor. Guess what? And I'll say this on the air. They'll be at Ducks next week. They'll have a presence at Rogers. They'll have a presence at Game Fair.
Yeah.
They're supporting the industry. They're not just, hey, we want to sell our products. they want to come and put back into what they're doing.
I've always taken it as it's a relationship.
100%.
It's a partnership and a relationship, and you got to work for each other.
That's it. There's one thing I've told everybody I've ever worked with is I do not like transactional relationships.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I close my eyes and
they don't last.
They don't. And so I can go to anybody in this room right now and have a conversation with them, and we never talk about anything that has to do with a contractual issue. Right. It is, hey, how are you? You know those folks' kids' names. You know when they had a ball game last week. God forbid something happened in their family. You can discuss that.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, what is the next whatever within the relationship of our business world.
I call my partners at least twice or 3 times a month.
100%.
And we're buddies.
Yeah.
And when they do leave, if something changes, it hurts a little bit.
Well, it hurts, but it also helps you when let's be clear, in business and things that we do, sometimes you have to have a difficult conversation.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whole lot more difficult and hurt a whole lot more if you don't have that relationship.
Yeah. Well, when I say it hurts, it's just you don't talk to them. I talk to people like Matthews. So when I first started, Matthews and Muzzy were my 2 first partners.
For sure.
And I haven't been with Matthews for, it's probably been 19, 20 years, but I talk to him at least twice a month still.
Right.
You just, if I tell somebody you're one of my buddies, you're my buddy.
That's right.
Whether you're paying me or not.
That's right.
And that's the way it should be.
100%. That's like, you come in here and it's all of our partners have been so wonderful to us over the years and continue to do so we can't thank them enough.
Yeah. Marvin, good morning, buddy. Thank you so much. I love you too, man. I thank you for listening, and I'm glad you love the show. It's always a good thing to hear that. Beck, how you doing, buddy? Beck wants to know what kind of breeds of dogs can they see if they come out?
Man, I saw a poodle in here yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah, I saw a poodle and a Boston Terrier yesterday. So, I mean, we've seen labs, we've seen pointers, long hairs. If you name it, there's a real good chance you might see it at the Delta Expo here in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are you seeing as far as with the kids programs? When I first started up here in Iowa a long time ago, Night Rifles, I met Tony Knight, and we became really good buddies.
For sure.
And we used to give away, I used to do an outdoors dam pack to the kids every month.
Yep.
And I mean, they got a muzzleloader, they got a Matthews Genesis bow, they got targets, arrows, broadheads, they got rod and reel, tackle. I mean, anything and everything to get them outdoors. We did that every month. And then, of course, you can relate to this. Everybody's budgets started going down and down and down, and then we had to quit doing it. But what are you seeing as far as the outreach and what families are looking for if they're wanting to get into waterfowl hunting? What are they looking for as far as what they can help get educational and opportunities with Delta Waterfowl?
So Delta Waterfowl, that's one of the, I say, crown jewels at Delta Waterfowls. We have a vast volunteer base of about 5,600 to 6,000 volunteers all over the United States and Canada. And those folks are running local chapters, and they are the lifeblood of their local community doing the programmatic work of the organization, right? And so we have a Waterfowl Heritage Fund, and that is a portion of the proceeds that they raise in each community. They get to utilize it in some fashion to do exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
We want those programs going on in the community. We want to recruit new hunters. We want to have mentored hunts. We want to do youth shooting sports days and duck calling events and all those things. And that's what those parents are looking for. Because frankly, look, let's all get real here. I didn't grow up waterfowl hunting. I was fortunate enough to have someone introduce me to it at 16 years old, and here we are, right? 30 years later, a heck of a lot broker. But my point is that the barrier of entry is what we see. It's the unknown, right? Yeah. I'm not going ice fishing because I don't trust the ice.
Right.
That's just me because I don't know.
I didn't even know what ice fishing was until I moved to Iowa. We didn't do that back in St. Louis.
Yeah, we don't do it in North Carolina. I can promise you that.
You do got good food, though.
We do. We have great food. Yeah. We have great agriculture. We have great fishing, but we don't do it over ice.
Yeah, that's a different animal, I'm telling you. Boy, and everybody's just chomping at the bit to get on the ice now with this weather. I'm telling you. It's just crazy. All right, guys, it's 8:14 and some change. We are live at the Delta Waterfowl event out at the Iowa Event Center. Chris and I are going to hit a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about, what can families learn while they're out here. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, if you are a outdoor business and you want to get hooked up with a good organization, there's going to be opportunities for you to do that while you're here too. So we'll talk about that when we come back right here on 106.3 KXNO.
From the Hawkeyes to the Cyclones, Hey, Dan, make sure everyone's close enough to the mic.
Yeah, do me a favor. I'm gonna have to keep that.
This is Des Moines Sports Station, 106.3.
I tried bumping you up a little bit, but it didn't work. They can hear you, but it's
right
low.
when you have been trusted by hunters for over 30 years. Predator camouflage patterns are so effective, they have been virtually unchanged for decades. Predator camouflage has taken its
the dog. I'm
patterns
sorry.
in spring green, fall gray, and fall brown, and added them with today's technology and updated materials to not only help you disappear from game, but these updates help you to hunt in even better comfort, safety, and stealth while shattering your silhouette. No matter what game you're hunting, Predator camouflage will help you move with more freedom while delivering unprecedented performance and quiet that hunters depend on to get close to game. So this season, if you need new camouflage, take a serious look at what Predator camouflage has to offer for early, middle, and late season to keep you comfortable and hidden in the field. You can see all the great options at www.predatorcamo.com.
That would be a neat event.
You want outstanding performance, durability, and consistency. Have you tried Kool-Aid arrows yet? Born from the trusted Mamba arrows, Kool-Aid delivers exceptional performance at an affordable price for archers nationwide. Experience incredible grain-for-grain speed and penetration on the 3D course or in the field. With all the spine and diameter choices you need for target or hunting season. Kool-Aid shafts feature the unique centrifugal beam, maximizing speed and penetration similar to a rifle barrel. Plus, the quality is unbeatable for the price.
Cool. I
arrows
started an
come
online
fledged
radio
with
station
flex
5
veins
years
for
ago.
superior accuracy
It's all
and
hunting and fishing
quietness.
24 hours
So,
a day.
for your next
That's what
tournament or
this is.
adventure,
Okay.
ask for Kool-Aid arrows at your nearest dealer.
Oh, well, thank you.
Check them out
Yeah,
online
if
at
you guys ever want to run your show on there, let me know.
Kool-Aid Archery, where innovation meets passion.
Yeah, have them give me a
When
holler.
you're heading out to northern Minnesota on your next fishing adventure, make sure you stop by Fred's Bait and Tackle in Deer River, Minnesota. Fred's Light Bait and Tackle is conveniently located at 361 Main Street, right on the way to Lake Winnie and all the lake fuel fish in northern Minnesota. Sean and his crew have the liveliest bait ready for you to use, including fatheads, rainbows, shiners, and their famous river mix. Their bait is delivered fresh every day. Fred's Light Bait and Tackle also carries everything you need to get you on the water and ready to fish, including the latest rods, reels, terminal tackle, and snacks for your trip. Fred's also has spearing decoys, big suckers perfect for spearing season in the winter. So on your next fishing trip to northern Minnesota, stop by Fred's Live Bait and Tackle in Deer River or Little Winnie Trading Post and ask them where are the fish biting. Sean and everyone at Fred's Live Bait and Tackle and Little Winnie Trading Post will get you on the fish fast.
Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, you good?
Just coming over.
Paul, you can grab or move this. What you want to have a seat if you like.
For your outdoor adventures or projects. Well, have you looked
I
at
can
Compass
move that if
Carts?
you need a chair.
Compass Carts offers a unique and durable system for all your outdoor needs. Compass Carts works with your e-bikes for easy loading, your game gear, or what you need to go from camp, tailgates, or to the project site. They offer several hitch options so you can use your ATV or
30 seconds.
Getting ready to.
No, stay here. We're coming back.
That hold up to big payloads, wheel options that can handle over 300-pound loads while
you I
holding
love
up
you twice.
to harshest terrains with no flats. They also convert to a carrier for your bike or gear by simply loading to your vehicle hitch with ease.
Second.
So no more struggling to get your
No,
deer
you
milk
can go
or
right here,
other
bud.
game and gear back.
That way he can be on the
Just
screen.
load it on your Compass card and
Yeah.
you're on your way. For more information, check them out at compasscards.com.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Thank you, Andrew. All right, good morning. It's Outdoors Dan, the Outdoor Call Radio. We are live at the Iowa Event Center for the big Delta Waterfowl Event. We're visiting with our buddy Chris Williams, and we're talking a little bit about partnerships and opportunities to get involved with a great waterfowl organization. You know, a long time ago, I went with a couple buddies of mine, and they told me, please don't call.
That's the guy told me one time. He said the best thing you can do. Duck calls are a great thing. We love to hear them, but if you're where the ducks want to be,
Yeah,
just put the call down.
yeah. Yeah. What's the forecast? I hear so many different things. From people down south to, the ducks aren't migrating down here anymore. Where's everything at with the waterfowl community as far as migration and how the flights are doing?
I think the first thing we have to do is temper our expectations a little bit. And then that's just an opinion.
Yeah.
We've gone through a cycle. Paul Waits over here, waiting, and getting in the mix. But Paul does a great job. Putting that media and that information out. I won't steal his thunder
That's
here
okay.
for a little bit, but I think we've got to temper our expectations. For so many years, we saw this really big wet cycle. We saw the fall flight, just absolutely explode, and then we went through a couple seasons, 3 to 5 years maybe, where we had a wet spring on the prairies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so obviously we all know that ducks need two things: water and grass to breed.
Right.
Well, when it's dry, and we go back to we get back into this cycle of less going back in the fall flight, all those things. And I think for waterfowl hunters specifically, like I live in North Carolina. If anybody tells you that North Carolina is the best place to go duck hunt, don't ever listen to another thing they ever say, because they're wrong. but where I'm going with this is I feel the pain, right? But it's what I grew up knowing, and that's why I say this, is because I understand what waterfowl hunting is on the East Coast. For someone that generally had, mallards and pintails and widgeon, and they came through annually, we get through this cycle and they're not coming by there, obviously they're going to be upset.
Yeah.
And so we understand that. Is there a place that we can go and identify and say, this is how you fix it? I can tell you how you fix it. How we fix it is we get more folks and more hunters involved. We continue to do things like our Restore Our Refuges campaign. We continue to introduce new hunters like you and I discussed earlier. All those things, the more hands you have involved in something, the lighter the work becomes. And so that's always our charge at Delta. So get involved, find a way. You might not think your efforts are going to affect tomorrow, but I promise you they're going to affect the future for someone that comes after all of us.
Absolutely. Well, and I've always said, it's opportunity, habitat, and time.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And you got to be willing to do those things, man. You got to bundle them together. I always say, do something today that you'll be proud of tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so that's just, I'm not always the most opportunistic guy, but Paul will tell you that I got a good outlook on this one.
So let me talk to you about sea ducks. I got a couple listeners out on the East Coast that are always like, come on out here, man. We'll go sea duck hunting. I go, what are you talking about, sea ducks? What's a sea duck?
So here's the funny one. I'll tell you this first. It's always been interesting to me for folks from the Midwest who want to talk about sea ducks.
Yeah.
Because a lot of folks, now Paul's a big water hunter, diver hunter like I am. We love the bluebills and all the things, right? But I literally have folks call me from out the western part of the country, and they're like, "Oh, we want to come sea duck hunting." I'm like, "Well, what do you want to shoot?" "Oh, we'd love to shoot a bluebill." And hold on a minute, stop. That is not a sea duck, just so we're clear. But I mean, look, we have all three, scoters in the Atlantic Flyway. We've got eiders a little up north, so Atlantic brant. Paul and I went on an epic brant hunt several years ago, but it's fun, man. And the thing is, it's camaraderie. It's getting out there. Look, I've told everybody, my kids, they are expert decoy technicians.
Yeah.
We know how to put them out, and we know how to pick them up. Whatever happens between those two periods of time, I'm going to be thankful for it, and we're all going to get back safely.
Now, see, that's the one thing. I don't know if I could get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go deploy 200-something decoys.
Thankfully, sea duck hunting, you don't have to.
Okay.
Now you get back to this canvasback and bluebill conversation.
Yeah.
We got another story, and that's definitely a labor of love.
What's some of the neat innovations that you've seen with some of the partners with Delta Waterfowl? What's some of the new stuff out there people can see at the show that they're going to get excited about?
But the coolest thing for us, man, is this is the first show of the year, right?
Right.
It's the largest show in North America dedicated strictly to the waterfowl hunter. Yeah. We will continue to do that. We'll continue to drive that message because, as you stated earlier, you look around this room. If you can't find it in here, you probably don't need it.
Right.
But you can start at one end of this hall. Our friends at Rig 'em Right have introduced their new decoy line at our show. Great. I think they've introduced 6 or 7 new species to their decoy line. You go down the list, you've got, folks at Boss, they've got their new copper here. They're introducing it. Kent Ammunition. All these folks are bringing their new wares for 26 and 27 to market right here. And so I'm the guy, I don't buy anything unless I can touch it and hold it up. It's here.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I want to smell it, taste it, touch it, whatever before I hate buying online.
Yeah, no.
If I absolutely have to, I will. But and then 95% of the time I end up sending it back because it doesn't meet expectations.
So I have to be careful saying this on other programs that I'm on, but I can say this today from where we're sitting. But and Paul will know what I'm talking about when I get through. My correlation to this event, and look, we're blessed at Delta Waterfowl to have our leadership and all the people that support this initiative. Right?
Yeah.
It's the 5th year we've had it, largest one I think we've had. I know we'll see all the folks today, but I tell everybody this is 2 things. When you come in here, this is a family reunion. You're going to walk around in here and you're going to see people. You'll shake a hand. It goes back to the guy in camo is your friend, right? And it's a family reunion for many because there's people that I see once, twice a year in here, and I feel like I just saw them last week.
Sure.
But the other thing is when you walk through that door, we all used to wait around in the fall to get the Max Prairie Wings catalog. I've been saying the fall catalog, not the Max Prairie Wings catalog, but they're a platinum sponsor of the Duck Hunters Expo, so I don't feel bad saying it.
Right.
But we all used to wait to get that catalog in the mail and just in a nervous panic every fall to start flipping the pages. Well, guess what? Walk in that door, and this is what we call in living color right here.
Oh, there you go.
The magazine, and that's exactly what this is.
You got a virtual or a live reality catalog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's up close and personal, and guess what? You can touch it, feel it, and if you want to buy it, take it home.
Yeah, and with the economy the way it is, people they're willing to make deals at shows.
100%.
And 100%. Do you have outfitters here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
Warner Outfitters, one of our biggest supporters, right here in front of us.
So if you guys are looking for an outfitting adventure, you can book a hunt while you're here too. And there's I always love these kind of shows because it's a one-stop shop. I mean, you can get your gear, you can plan your hunts.
You got to start at the Delta Waterfowl booth and make sure you become a member of Delta Waterfowl. That's where you need to start.
Okay.
So we're clear.
And get a bag. First
right.
50 people get a really nice camo bag. I was laughing when I came in here yesterday. I saw those bags and I said, yeah, those will last about 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. Well, we've got the show bags here. The Jafu.
Well, you're doing 50 a day, right?
Well, no, these show bags right here, the Jafu bags on this hanger, anybody can take those as they come in. They sponsored that, activation.
Well, aren't you doing like the first
Bandit,
50?
but Bandit and Avery have graciously given us 50. I guess you call them I think it's a waiter bag maybe.
Okay.
But very nice bag.
Oh, that's nice.
We're giving the first 50 folks in line every morning are getting those bags.
Yeah,
so,
and those are, people love those things.
There were kids out here in this lobby at 6:45 when you were unloading your car waiting to get them. That's not a joke. Miss Kristen came to me. She's like, where's the tickets for the bags? I'm like, oh, we'll hand them out later. She's like, no, these kids are waiting out here now.
And hey, we need to give out Kristen a nice shout out. She is the coordinator here for the event, and she's been just awesome to work with. I've been bugging the heck out of her all week. Hey, did you do this? Got this? And she goes, yeah. And just from coordinating all you guys for the guests, and it's just been a really, really pleasure to work with she does a banger job.
Kristen's an absolute blessing. She's our expo coordinator, and I tell everybody I let experts do expert stuff, and I'm fortunate to have her on my team. But it's 100% that she does everything she can to make this perfect.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for spending some time with us here. I know you got stuff to do. If someone wants to get a hold of you for a partnership, or if someone has questions, what's the best way to get a hold of you this weekend?
Mike, this weekend it's going to be tough. You might want to send a Harrier pigeon or something in here and running me down. But
you'll be at the Delta Waterfowl area, won't you?
I'll be at the booth all weekend, and I'll be around. So just ask any of our staff members. Love to talk with you. If not, they can send me an email, and they can find my information on our website at www.deltawaterfowl.org.
Well, that's easy. All right. So, thanks for
coming. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Dan. No. Thank you for all you've done.
Thank you for inviting us out. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great day, man.
Yeah, you too. There he goes, Chris Williams. All right, we're going to take a real short break, and then we're going to be back with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Paul Waite, and we're going to talk about history. And you know how much I love history, folks. My third grade education is going to get even better today. There we go. We'll be right back on 106.3 KXNO.
Hey, America, when you barbecue.
Morning, Jeff. How you doing, buddy? What's up in New York?
Lots of goodness.
How you doing, Paul? Good to see you. Good. So when we're on, try to keep that mic about a couple inches from you, okay? Yeah, something like this. Yeah, there you go. Okay. You having fun so far? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Des Moines is a good place to have a show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, students,
To be.
are you into
How long you
shooting
been with Bill?
sports?
15
Well, if
years.
you
Oh,
are,
wow.
have you
Around
ever thought
15
about
years.
using your
I'm
passion
our
to help you through
communications
college?
director.
Okay.
And
Brandon
then I'm also
University is a
our
small
Delta
private
store.
college that is looking for
Um,
students that have a passion
I
for
was talking to
shooting
Chris.
sports and learning.
In addition to
Brandon
doing the show
University
here
has
on
a shooting
KXNO
sports
and the one in
program
St. Louis
that,
on
if
Sunday
qualified,
nights,
will give you
I
a
actually own my
guaranteed
own
break for
outdoor
your whole
radio
education
station
while on the
called
shooting
the Outdoor
team.
Call
That
Radio.
means
So
your
this
costs
is
won't go
you can
up.
I
You
got
get to
people all over the
experience a
country
new level
listening.
of competition and learn in a small
If you
class
guys ever
size with a
your
feel of a
podcast,
larger campus
if you
with a
ever
ton
want
of
to,
opportunities.
I'm always looking
So
for
if
new
you're looking to
content.
advance your
I don't
education
charge.
and
I don't
love
ask
to
for any
shoot,
money.
why not shoot for a
But
college
if you ever
program
want
that
to
has
put Delta
produced countless
Waterfowls podcast
All-Americans
on my
and has a
network,
winning record of 4 times
all I
national
need is a
champion?
I'll set up a
Brandon Shooting
Dropbox,
Sports
and
athletes
you
will
just
have your
drop an
ammo,
MP3 in there, and
uniforms,
I do
travel,
everything
and
else. I don't
education
edit
covered
it.
in your
All your
scholarship.
sponsors.
If you like to shoot for the stars
I
and
would
push
love to have
yourself,
you guys on
Brandon
the network.
University wants to talk with you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
For more information,
No, it's
check
good. We
them
hit
out
around
at
60,000 a year.
gvvikings.com.
But it's free.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I wanted something I
Did
could
you know
keep
that
doing.
there is a
as long as I'm getting
nonprofit
older.
organization based
I
in
want
Iowa
something I
that
can- I
offers
own and
outdoor
call on
activities
myself.
and adventures for
Yeah.
veterans,
Appreciate that.
underserved youth,
Well,
and
no, it
first
would be great
responders?
content because we don't have
Every
any
trip that
waterfowl.
Giving Back Outdoors takes brings healing,
Yeah.
peace, and
Yeah.
values to its
Yeah.
members and guests. Giving Back Outdoors' mission is to make sure those who have served
Yeah,
us
like I
or
said,
don't have the means to go
that's awesome.
hunting, fishing,
No,
camping,
it's
or
all-
hiking
Yeah. So
can
I'm
still learn the values of healing
history,
power that outdoor
community,
activities
and
can
yeah,
bring
we'll
to
talk
been
all
at
of us.
waterfowl for
Giving
40
Back
odd
Outdoors
years.
is growing
I'm
and
from
wanting to
Wisconsin.
reach as
Oh,
many
yes, I live
folks
in
as it
Wisconsin.
can.
Don't know that.
If
We're
you
at-
would like to join us
near
on an
Appleton.
adventure,
Oh, I was just
help
up there.
with our core mission of giving
Spearhead
back to
Archery
the
is
love
one of my
the
partners.
outdoors
I'm
to the
friends with
people
them.
that have served
And,
us. Please
was,
go check us
yeah,
out
that's up
at
there by the,
givingbackoutdoors.org and contact us.
Ocean Spray.
That's
Farm.
givingbackoutdoors.org.
Yeah, there's a
Giving
lot.
Back
Yeah.
Outdoors, bring the peace and healing power of the
Wisconsin
outdoors to
cranberries.
folks
I
every day.
had no idea until I drove up
Yeah.
there. That was crazy.
Hey, Outdoors Dan here. How
I
many
think
times have you
Wisconsin
had to
number
quit
one
hunting because
cranberries,
your
but
feet
we're-
got
I
colder?
always thought
We're the
that was
top
Well, I have
I
a
always
way to
thought
keep
that was
your
like a
feet
Maine
feeling
or
great
New
in any weather
Yeah,
or
it is.
outdoor activity.
Yeah, and
Have you
Central
heard of
Wisconsin.
Norlander Sock
Yeah,
Company?
That was
Norlander
boy, and it's
Sock
beautiful
Company
up there.
uses high-quality
Yeah.
alpaca to produce some of the best socks out there.
Yeah, I just wanted.
Alpaca socks will
I was
keep
up there
your feet
turkey hunting
comfortable
one
and
spring.
feeling
Yeah.
great all day.
Wisconsin.
Alpaca socks will whip away any moisture that you might encounter, plus work with your outdoor footwear to keep your feet temperature
At
where
least
they need to
35
be.
states for
Alpaca
waterfowl.
socks also has a natural antibacterial
I've never
quality to
hunted
them
out
that
of
will
North.
keep
I've
your
never
socks
hunted out of
from
North
smelling.
America.
They have heavyweight and lightweight styles with
Argentina,
abundant color and
those are all
size
on my
choices
bucket
for you
list,
to choose
but-
from.
So
Plus,
I'm
gift
just gonna
boxes
see.
are available that
Argentina.
are 100% guaranteed.
That's
So
a lot
this
of
year,
dove
when
hunting
you
down
plan
there
your
too.
outdoor
Yeah.
activities,
I got a
make
buddy of
sure
mine.
you keep your feet
They do
comfortable
spread
and feeling
stag
great
and
all day.
doves.
Try a
and
pair of
big
Norlander
ones.
socks, pure alpaca,
That's
pure
just too.
comfort.
If I
For
can't
more
bring it home in a
information,
cooler,
just
I
go to
don't know.
norlandersocks.com and give your feet a treat. Have you ever been out hunting and started to do the hard
And I-
work of
if I-
breaking down that game you
I
just
can
tagged,
speak
only to have
Ola
your knife
Cattell,
fail
Miguel
at just
Daniel,
trying to take the hide off
donde
the quarter
está
animal?
Salas
Well, let me
Cerveza?
tell you
That's
about a
about
knife
the end
that
of
would
it.
never
Right
let
there.
that happen to you. That's
I
Weeby Knives.
took some
Quickly
Spanish in
becoming
high school.
the go-to
Yeah,
outdoor
I-
knife in the
I-
industry.
my
Hey,
Spanish
it's Outdoors Dan. I want to tell you
down
about the
there,
most functional
Well, it's
set of
beautiful
outdoor
country
knives
down
I came across in a while.
I want to
Weeby
go.
Knives. Have trouble
had it.
keeping an edge
I-
on a knife?
so
Check
I
out
did have an
WeebyKnives.com.
opportunity.
Replaceable scalpel
Actually,
blades
the
to
company
make
I was
sure you
working for,
always
I was
have
the
a
editor of
sharp
Wildfall
knife in the
magazine.
field.
Yeah.
I have a
I've been
Weeby knife in my
editor for a
tackle
while.
box and my backpack. That way, I know I'm covered no
Boy,
matter what job I need to do.
that's
It's
really
going to be
cool.
done the right
Yeah,
way.
it really
From
has.
turkey hunting to
We have a
deer
great
hunting,
magazine
trapping,
at Delta.
and
I
Weeby
was editor
knives
of
are
it
my
for about
go-to in the
10 years.
field. Don't believe me?
I'm Ronnie Adams from History
I
Channel
oversee the
Sports
guy
People,
who's
and when I
of
want to
it,
show
so
them
that's-
how I reach for
yeah.
Weeby
I,
knives, you
man,
heard me?
I grew up
Weeby
on
knives,
Taps
wicked
tips,
sharp,
and
baby.
I couldn't wait to
Now
go to
that's
the
a
outdoor,
knife. Get
outdoor
yours
live
at
for outdoor content.
WeebyKnives.com and tell them
God,
Outdoor
what was the
Dan
other one?
sent you.
Fin-
Well, you finally got that
yeah,
deer
Field
tagged
String.
and you're heading to home. Wouldn't it be nice to
It's
have
just
a
not
partner
there.
waiting for you to help you get that big
I
buck
miss
out of the truck or side-by-side
That's how I
for
learned.
skinning and processing
Yeah.
without struggling? Well, Minerva
shotgunning
Creek
it
Game Hoisting Systems will be there to help you. Minerva Creek Game
I saw him
Hoisting
yesterday.
Systems are made
He's
in
from Iowa.
USA in Springfield, Missouri. These high-quality game hoisting systems are engineered to
Scotty
handle
Wilson?
any type of big
I
game,
know
perfect for
him.
the
I don't know
hardcore
him.
hunter or outfitter.
He does
You
a lot
work
of
so
riding.
hard to get that opportunity.
And Scotty
You want to get
Wilson
every
does,
ounce of that
yeah,
quality protein to the
Scott's
deer
a-
processor
Scott's a
or in the
buddy of mine.
freezer for your family.
Yeah.
Minerva Creek
I know
Game
him.
Hoisting
I know
Systems
of
were
him.
engineered to
Well,
help
he-
you do
he
that.
probably would
They
know.
carry
He-
several
he needs to
different
get a-
models
you
that
guys
will
need
meet
to
the
get a hold
needs
of
for the
Scott,
single
have him
hunting
down
family
the rest
or
of it.
outfitter's budget.
Yeah.
So this season,
Well, he
don't worry
does
about having
waterfowl
help back at home or camp. Minerva Creek Game Hoisting
He's a good
Systems
person,
that
too.
will make every hunting camp easier.
Yeah, I don't think
Go
I've ever
check
been
them
to
out
camp
at
with him.
minervacreek.com.
or give them a call at 515-446-2383.
Yeah, Scotty's an upland guy, but he loves a waterfowl. Yeah.
Our dogs are part of the family, and we want to protect them at all times. Do you live in an area that you want to keep open and not have a traditional fence to protect your pet? No worries. Call Chris at Pet Stop of Des Moines. Chris Spoltra is the owner of the Pet Stop franchise in the Des Moines area and has been keeping pets safe for
What I was thinking
19
wearing
years.
that vest
A
this
Pet
morning.
Stop system will not only keep your pet from moving your
I'm
desired
so ready
area
for fall.
outside, but can also be set up to keep your pet out of
Morning.
areas in your home. Pet Stop system is underground, keeping your property open and easy to maintain. Plus, with a friendly user app on your phone,
It was
you can customize
really
the
bad.
Pet Stop
We were in
system to help your
the,
dogs
like,
enjoy
500
their playtime and stay safe
Yeah.
at the same time.
Go outside and like,
For more information
Yeah,
on how to
it's
protect
really,
your
really
puppy
bad.
and keep
bad.
your home looking great, call 515-975-2190. Go online at petstop.com. Pet Stop of Des Moines. Outdoors Dan recommended and Raven approved.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 106.3 KXNO. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday all across the good old USA. We are live at the Delta WaterFowl Event, having a little fun time. Hey, I forgot to tell everybody, thanks to Three Rivers Boat and RV Storage in Carlisle for helping us out each and every month. It's a great place to go put your trailer, your camper, your boat. I got several things down there, and they make life easy for me getting in and out, getting out to recreating in the outdoors. If you want to need a spot, they give you a 12 by 50 assigned spot, $60 a month. If you pay for a year, you get a month free. Give Tracy and Danielle a call, 515-822-1362, 515-822-1362, and pick your spot. They'll take really good care of you. Hey, we're talking with Paul Waite. Paul's the communications director for Delta Waterfowl and a historian. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure. Let's talk a little history. And again, I know you know more in your little pinky nail about waterfowl than I ever will.
I don't know, but
Yeah, but I'm an avid turkey hunter, so I'm going to go from this angle.
Sure.
I love decoys.
Yeah.
I think decoys are one of the most creative things, and I can understand the passion and the excitement about waterfowl hunting because I get that when I'm turkey hunting. That communication with that bird, you're trying to get that bird to do what God reverse what God asked them to do.
Yeah.
In their head, and I get the excitement. I really do. Decoys have come so far in the turkey realm, and I'm what I see in the waterfowl decoys. It's about the same. I mean, they're amazing what they got.
It absolutely is. Yeah. So the thing about turkey hunting is you only get a couple of, you might use one or two decoys.
Yeah.
And in duck hunting, I'm one of those crazy diver hunter guys too. And
now, what does that mean, diver hunter? Is that the diver duck?
So that's canvasbacks, bluebills, redheads, ringneck ducks, golden eyes, those kinds of ducks that spend their time in the fall in the big water. And so the thing about decoys, when you're doing that, you're running 100 to 200 decoys, and so it's a little it's not so much like decoy or like turkey hunting with your decoys. And I own more decoys than I care to admit. I don't even know how many decoys I have, and I also collect them.
Yeah, well, that's I was going to go in that angle. When I first started a long time ago, decoys were like two-dimensional foam. They were like a carved wood decoy. And man, if I had a couple of those right now, I'd probably be able to get me a new truck.
Yeah. So I have about 60 decoys in my collectible decoys, and I don't have any that are worth as much as a new truck, but I've got some that are worth as much as a pretty fine shotgun. And the great thing too, I know we're here at the Expo. We've got a waterfowl hunting heritage booth. We have two of the top carvers in the country,
awesome
contemporary carvers who are here. Pat Gregory from Illinois, and Josh Brewer, who is originally from the Chesapeake Bay, Maryland area. He lives in Maine now. So we've got a booth, and they're carving. They're
actually carving.
Yeah.
So that would be neat for the kids to see.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick Sesker, good morning, buddy. Good to see you. Bobby Nichols up in New York. How you doing? Jeff Falloon in New York. How you guys doing? You guys need to get to meet each other since you're up there in New York together. They're doing good. The details are so much more nuanced now, as far as the original one.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the gentleman here, but
Right.
back when 40, 50 years ago, I mean, it looked like a wood duck.
Yeah.
But now, man, it's even. I would assume even the new painting or the carved ones are even more detailed.
Yeah, the factory decoys are so much more realistic than they used to be. Yeah, I mean, when I started hunting, 40 some years ago, hunting ducks, the decoys barely looked like ducks. They were like lumps of styrofoam, and I guess if you looked at them, if you squinted hard enough, the ducks didn't seem to care all that much. But today the realistic decoys that we have are pretty darn amazing. And
what's some of the biggest changes in the last 50 years waterfowl hunting?
I think from a conservation standpoint, access to hunting, which is one of the issues that Delta Waterfowl works on continually. Access has gotten more difficult. The gear has advanced, like you were saying about decoys. You've got mud motors. We can get places now to hunt ducks that we never could get to before, or we're not never could get to, but we're very difficult. Like, you had to make a Herculean effort to get back into some of these places, and now you can zip across and get in there, which is good and bad. I mean, it's good from a standpoint of you can there's more opportunities to hunt, but it also can be, it changes the pressure a little bit on ducks. So
absolutely,
yeah.
And duck blinds, blinds.
Yeah,
that's now I've seen some amazing duck blinds. They had grills, they had bar tabs, they had flat screen TVs. But back in the day, I mean, it was canvas and or the what do they call the stalks?
Yeah. I can remember the first duck blind I ever made in the marsh. I'm from Wisconsin, and we took some cedar poles, cut down some cedar poles, drove them into the mud, took an old shipping pallet, threw that down as the floor, built a little makeshift bench in the back of it, and wrapped some chicken wire around and threaded some brush through, and that was the blind. And like today, you don't have to do that. They're so much more sophisticated and better covered and all the things.
Well, you got trap doors, or you can flip them open and take when they come into set, and you got heaters. It's dog doors. That I'm glad you said that. Turkey hunting and whitetail hunting, which is mostly what I do. I'm a bow hunter. I don't have that camaraderie with my dog, and to me, when I do go upland hunting, or when I went out there, I've got a 95-pound spoiled rotten black lab.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a little envious that maybe I should have got into that direction more, because that is a relationship that I just can't imagine the emotions, and the feeling of satisfaction of having a dog that is a good hunting partner.
Yeah. So last year I got a new puppy. I have a golden retriever.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Her name's Lucy.
Yeah.
And she's a ball of fire. She went to a professional trainer up in Wisconsin, so she went through the full training, and then I started working with her after she came back from that training. And she's a ball of fire. Last year, she only got 15 retrieves, but as a puppy, that's pretty good. It's more on me for not shooting more birds. We had a little bit of a tough season, but no, she did really well. And like you said, I am so anxious to get out there on September 1 when our early goose and teal season starts in Wisconsin. More for her. I'm more excited to see what she's going to do than I am about shooting some more birds. But
I take Raven shed hunting with me.
Oh yeah.
And when he finds a shed, it's so nice. I understand the passion of waterfowl hunting. I just thought, you can't do everything.
Yeah.
And if I did, I'd probably be single, living in a double wide, because I don't know. It's just I got so much stuff at home now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's opportunities for youth? I think are so much better now than they were 50 years ago, aren't they?
I think so, because back when I started hunting, there wasn't a youth season. No. There wasn't such a thing, and it was you had to rely on dad or uncle or grandpa or, someone, friend, neighbor, somebody to take you, there wasn't a structured youth season. Now we have structured youth seasons. And one of Delta's greatest programs is called First Hunt. So, and it's driven by our chapters. And they put on these youth hunting events all over the place. And last duck season, we surpassed 100,000 first hunt participants.
Oh, that's awesome.
So this organization has mentored 100,000, and that's since 2003. So over the last 23 seasons.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty amazing. I don't think that. Yeah, we always say in our media that it's the largest waterfowl specific hunter recruitment program probably in the world. I'm sure it is.
Well, you got to keep the family intact and growing if you want to keep your opportunities. And I applaud you and everybody else that does that for the kids. Like I said, we got great conservation partners with our DNRs and wildlife management people, and they really look forward to doing those youth days. And those things, 50 years ago, you didn't have that. Yeah. So it's an exciting time to be in the outdoors.
It absolutely is. The other thing we do is we have a lot of other hunts that aren't necessarily for youth.
Right.
So we mentor like college age people, and we have veterans hunts. We have ladies only hunts. We have all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always great to get the ladies involved, and I get some flack for saying this once in a while, but some of the best hunters I know are ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they tend to be a little more patient, and they're good shots.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's they just don't develop the bad habits or whatever, but a lot of gals are natural shooters, and they just pick up the gun, and you're like, wow, it took me a couple of years to get to where you're at, and you just started last Tuesday.
I don't know why more people don't know that, Paul. Women have been shooting me down for years. Oh, that's funny. Sean Jinks, good morning. Bobby Nichols, how you doing? Jordan, good morning. Jake Pike from State Farm, how you doing? Jeff, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. We always appreciate you listening in. Well, what's some of the stuff that's got you excited here at the show, Paul?
I haven't really had a great chance to walk around yet, so I'm going to do that. I've been at Delta for 15 years, and before that, I was in the waterfowl industry for a couple of years before Delta, and so I have a lot of friends to catch up with here, and that's a great thing about waterfowl hunting. Like you said before, I know we talked about dogs a bit, but you get a few buddies together and you can have a great time whether the ducks are flying or not.
Yeah.
We're always hoping that we're shooting and the ducks are flying and everything's, as planned. But even on days when it's a little slow, we have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we got to take a real quick break. We'll pick it up when we get back. Don't go anywhere. We're live at the Delta Waterfowl Expo, downtown Des Moines. It's Outdoors Dan on the Outdoor Call Radio on 106.3 KXNO.
Okay.
If you're an archer, you know how important the feel and performance of a bow is on your ability to send
Andrew, did Joe get back with you?
Not all bows are made the same. That's especially true when it comes to gearhead. Gearhead
Said I'll have customers at 9:30, but haven't heard back yet.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Just let me know.
work extremely well, whether you're in the tree stand or the ground blind. If you're a saddle hunter, Gearhead is definitely a bow you need to check out. Gearhead bows are engineered to be ahead of the game on the newest tech available out there. Gearhead shoots for 100% customer satisfaction every day. They are constantly looking at ways to keep Gearhead bows quiet, deadly accurate, and affordable. So when you're looking for your next hunting partner, head over to your nearest dealer like Archery Field and Sport in Altoona, Iowa, or go online to www.gearheadarchery.com. Stack the deck on your next hunt with Gearhead. Shop online at gearheadarchery.com or locally at Archery Field and Sports in Altoona.
Yeah. He'll talk. He's going to hunt. He's going to be a lot more legendary than I will be.
Time you're good. You're take some sense. You're one stop outdoor.
My third grade education, and people can understand.
Seed, gear minerals, feed, so much
as a
more.
communicator,
What
so
you're
that's
a fresh year and sense.
I think that's one of the reasons why we've been on
the high performance synthetic sense.
We always. I've always wanted to be where a couple buddies are just shooting.
You need to dominate and with this season. And don't forget, harvest time isn't the end of fun. Jake's Harvest Times has everything you need.
We're just having
Old seasoning,
Well, I just never
brine,
took
bacon,
I never took
chips,
myself
and of
seriously and
course,
got an
our
ego.
barbecue
And
sauce. You can bring it all home.
that's the one thing I
Family-owned,
never
outdoor
did
grill,
like about her. Well,
for results.
Yeah.
Jake's Sense.
Yeah,
Gear up, spice up, and
There's
let's
that.
success this season.
People
Visit
will get stars.
JakesandSense.com and unleash the hunt.
well, we're all
They're bigger than
Your
like
weapon
I
in
don't
the
know.
woods.
You put
Please
your
them in
underwear
your
on
tracks.
the same
that's
as I did this
exactly
morning.
right.
Firearm enthusiasts love modern Spartan systems carbon and blend destroyer cleaners and lubricants. They effectively clean and boost firearm performance, cutting friction by 90%. This green system keeps you on target. Anglers, try Passat Slick Reel Grease for longer casts and smoother retrieves. For vehicles, boats, and all motors, consider modern Spartan Systems CVT Green Engine Oil Additive. Test by top engineers show a significant 5 to 15% better mileage. Double the oil life with a quieter, cooler engine. Get the advantage on the water or in the field with modern Spartan Systems proven cleaners.
Oh, like a blunderbuss.
Oh,
there's 3 of them. Okay.
So
One of them's one of them's
Modern Spartan Systems, American made,
and
safe,
fully
green,
loaded.
and
I mean, the
tested for
barrel's like
optimal
this.
performance.
It fully loaded, 22 ounces.
There's a new broadhead designed
And
for
people
both the
don't
vertical
know.
and crossbow hunter, and it's a game changer.
They'd stall out and
Broadheads
shoot
is the
at
name.
night.
They're available in
Wow,
titanium,
that's-
aluminum,
Yeah,
and
that's
steel
where so we have 3 punt guns.
101
Plus he's got,
grain
he's
options.
got
Speed broadheads were
112
designed
other
by engineers
old
who
guns.
do
He's got a
not
4
settle.
gauge and an 8
Design their
gauge.
products to be
The
dependable.
double barrel
and
8, I think it weighs 17
your arrow
pounds. Marty
with
Sands.
the speed broadhead leading the way.
Story.
The
So
mass of the blades
those are
are
guys who
off
got-
center.
All right, we'll cover that. That's not a problem.
All right, yeah. Let's
It
do that.
cannot open any speed. In fact, when the blades push into the patent-pending micro piston, the blades are instantly deployed, creating a
It's just-
fantastic
it's just
flat cut
literally
entry.
like-
Okay.
Deploying with the
Loading
least
door
amount
there,
of pressure
right by
of
the-
the
All right,
mechanical
I'll go check that out.
This means 15 seconds. Devastating impact on your game. For this hunting season, make sure you increase your odds of success with Speed Broadhead. Look for them at a Bass Pro Shop or Shields near
Doors
you.
open in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 106.3 KXNO. We are live at the Iowa Event Center for the big Delta Waterfowl Expo. Doors open up in about 8 minutes. Don't forget to come by the Outdoor Call Radio table. I'll be here till 10. First 4 or 5 people to come up, I got a $100 gift card to Onyx for you for coming out to the event. And then for all my guys and gals out there to get cold feet, I've got some discount coupons for Norlander socks. These are alpaca made socks in Missouri, and
Nice.
she raises her own alpacas. I used to wear electric socks and stuff when it's like 5 degrees and stuff. I quit wearing them. These alpacas with a good insulated boot, your feet don't get cold.
I'll have to check into those.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I'm an
there.
old electric. Oh, thank
There
you.
you go.
Yeah,
Give you that.
I'm an old electric socks guy too, and
In 2 hours, they're done.
yeah, either the battery dies or the wires are.
You get the heavyweights of those, Paul, and you're going to be absolutely. I always say give your feet a treat.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
You'll love them,
I'll
and they're
love it.
super nice people. But get the heavyweights.
All right.
Yeah, you'll do good. Yeah, all right. So for all my gun fanatics out there, going back to history a little bit, if you know what a punt gun is, you're up on me because I had no idea. Paul's going, hey, did you see the punt guns yet? I go, what is a punt gun? Paul, what's a punt gun?
So they were used. They're huge guns. So they were used in the market hunting days. They're not legal to use anymore in the United States. They still do a little bit of it over in England, but they're really impressive. So we've got a guy here who's an old shotgun historian.
Yeah.
He's got 3 punt guns here at the show on display in his booth. One of them is 9 feet long.
Wow.
And fully loaded with 22 ounces of shot. So that's like your modern load. If you shot 18 rounds all at the same time, that's what's coming out that barrel.
Okay, now I'm a bow hunter, but I gotta. How do you shoot a 9-foot gun?
So you got to have it mounted. They mounted them on a boat, and they would row the boat out into the ducks and fire that thing off. And literally, he has a video at the booth too.
Okay.
And of somebody shooting the gun, and literally the boat that he's in goes backwards about 4 feet when he fires
Oh my
it.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, come on out and see that. Hey, don't forget, I've got some Onyx coupons. If you come out to the table, I got some Norlander coupons. I've got a few Onyx hats. Onyx was nice enough to send me some ball caps. So I'll give see what we got. 3 of those. So you come out and say hi, and we'll do that. Before what do we got? We got about 4 minutes here.
Yeah.
If someone was coming out, they've never waterfowl hunted before, and they're coming out, they want to get into it, what do you encourage them to check out or look at while they're here?
Yeah, I think just take in all the booths, just walk around and see what there is to see. Try out a duck call. You know, you're not going to be good at it right away, and that's okay. There's a lot of really rough sounding duck callers out there in the world, but everything's here. If you want to start waterfowl hunting, and ask people, most of the people in this industry want to help and get you into it. They'll have advice for you. They, you know, can set you up with some gear. And you know, waterfowl hunting is pretty gear intensive, but you don't have to have everything right away. I think that's one of the things, you know, people get intimidated because, you know, they think they have to have 100 decoys and know how to blow a call and work a dog and all that stuff. I'll tell you, it takes years to build the layers of getting really, really good at it, but you don't have to have all that stuff. When I started out duck hunting, I literally had a 5-gallon pail, some shells in my pocket, and a shotgun, and I had a brown coat, and I walked down and got into the edge row where there was a little water hole and shot my first ducks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm partially colorblind. That's another reason I don't waterfowl hunt, because I don't want to get in trouble for shooting a wrong color teal.
Yeah, that's one of the things too. Is
what do you do if you're colorblind? How do you just take a buddy that can see good? I mean, is that good, man?
Yeah, you know what? I think sometimes you can learn to identify ducks a lot of different ways. One of the things is, you know, you say that colorblind.
Right.
You know, we go out hunting and you can shoot a half an hour before sunrise.
Right.
Well, everybody's colorblind at that point. Yeah, everything's a silhouette.
Yeah.
So you kind of learn, you know, what ducks might be around in your particular area. You learn how their flight patterns, like different species of ducks fly different ways.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a great tip.
And there's some, like a lot of the ducks, like a blue-winged teal has a light blue patch on the wing. You see that. You'll see that patch, you know, even in low light, you can see that patch.
Hopefully I would see that patch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's lighter than the rest of the duck, and so you can identify, you know, by wing beats and stuff.
There you go. See, I didn't know that either. So you can how they pattern when they come in on the setup, or you can look in just the mannerisms. You can distinguish certain ducks. Like, so what is different, real quick, between a cinnamon, a green wing, and a blue wing?
Yep. So coloration, cinnamons and blue wings are very closely related species. Green wings are more closely related to a widgeon.
Okay.
So they're a different duck. They're small. They're really small duck. They green wings too. They twist a lot more. Blue wings are, they're just really fast and flighty, and so you kind of learn how they move, if you will. So
all right, I hear the music. We got to go, Paul. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, great.
Thank you. They can find you here at the event?
Yep. I'll be around in the membership booth, and go to deltawaterfowl.org to learn more about Delta and this expo, and come on out. We have everything here for ducks and duck hunters.
All right, we'll be back.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. No, I really appreciate it. Please let me know.
For a great family treat or a special kid idea, pop on over to the Waterfowl store, located at 647 South Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny. That's where you'll find over 30 fresh flavors of the most delicious Iowa-grown popcorn from the Central area. You'll love the fresh flavors like caramel,
our podcast producer is also our
cheddar cheese, birthday cake, or patriotic mix, just to name a few. You'll find something for everyone at Waterfowl Ankeny. Harley and his crew can
Thank you, buddy. Good. All right, have a good show. All right, same. John, how you doing, John?
I'm good.
Outdoors Dan.
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat.
It's the same great popcorn you'll find at the Iowa State Games, locally grown and popped to perfection.
Get that off.
Special for more information,
Chief Policy Officer.
Yeah.
What kind of policy we've been
Great taste popcorn.
Talk about everything from ag policy,
landowners
Let's
serve
talk about a
habitat.
story.
Okay.
An Iowa story
hunting
about a
policies,
dream that took
right?
several years to come true.
Are
In
you
Hillsdale,
familiar with the
Iowa,
Iowa?
the story
I
of
talked
Revelton
about it
Distilling
Tuesday
Company.
night. Yeah.
These
We'll
fine
talk a little
distilled
bit about that
whiskeys,
and why
gins,
that
and
would be good.
vodkas
Yeah,
were
I grew
born
up in
from the
Missouri,
flavor
so
of rye,
we did
toasted
that
grain,
1A for
and
one
the
yeah.
amazed
forever.
hearing the customer
And I've been,
descriptions of how unique
I moved
each
up here
bottle
26
is,
years
and it
ago, and
waits
I've
to hear your
testified
taste and
down at the
satisfies
Capitol
every sip.
why
Mahogany
that's
whiskey
not
to
law yet.
whiskey
I
and
still
cream,
don't know.
or the
It
robust
passed with
mulberry gin,
60-something%
American gin or
approval.
vodkas. Revelton
I
Distilling
think I know, but I
can't
fixed it
believe
by
the
now.
flavor profiles the
I hope
mixologists
so.
are
They need
creating
it.
at the distillery
You know,
every
that's the
day.
future for,
Revelton Distillery is open Wednesday
for
through
hunters.
Sunday in Osceola. They're
Well,
located at
especially
1400 West Clay Street, right off I-35. Revelton Distillery fine spirits are also available at your local grocery and other retailers around Iowa. Please check them out online at ReveltonDistillery.com or visit them at the distillery. If it's time to celebrate or just time to sit back and unwind, well, then it's time for a Revelton moment.
And you know, most hunters and anglers, we gladly to pay our share.
Right, that's right. Always have. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app. All your music, sports talk, and podcasts. Guaranteed.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan. We are live at the Delta Waterfowl Expo downtown. Andrew, does that music mean you have the smelter on?
Getting him right now.
Okay.
Just confirmed that he's ready to go and giving him a call.
All right. Well, all right. I'm going to introduce our next guest. You just put in my ear if you got Joey on. John. Tell me your last name, John.
Devney.
Devney. Didn't want to mispronunciations.
Well, you wouldn't be the first one to mispronounce it.
John is the Chief Policy Officer for Delta Waterfowl. Now, what is a policy officer?
Well, so I look after Delta's governmental affairs team all over the United States and Canada.
We're going to have a good conversation.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know, it's one of those titles they give you. Just do the best you can to live up to it.
Yeah. You know, I'm sorry. I'm waiting to see. Andrew, did you get him?
Got him. Just a second.
All right, John, give me just 2 seconds here. I'm trying to stagger. I'm a staggering man today, folks. I love live radio on locations. Ooh, we got music going. Wow, that's exciting. I'm excited. We don't get music at the Iowa Deer Classic. You guys are
no music at the Iowa Deer Classic.
No, not like this. You guys are upscale. I like that. Smelter, are you on?
We are ready for him to come on, and so let me just make sure I get him set. And 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Joe, are you there? Joe Smelter.
You there?
I can hear you now. Hey, Joey, what are you doing?
I'm here.
Joe Smelter, everybody's favorite truck guy.
Background music.
Yeah, I know. We got music out here at the Delta Waterfowl Expo. It's like I'm high styling now. Hey, is Chevy out here? Are you guys doing anything? Joe?
You hear me?
I'm getting feedback. Hey, Joe, real quickly, just sorry to do this to you, but what do you guys got going on for this weekend out of Carl Chevrolet?
We got some big rebates like on certain Silverados. If you trade something in, there's up to $7,000 rebate. Not my discount included, so there's some big rebates on half-ton pickups, the half 5.3 and then there's other rebates if you want, like a diesel option like the Eclipse or the 6.2 V8. There's some good rebates there too. So
okay, all right.
Everybody's doing good. It's getting closer and closer to the 27th coming out month, so I'll be excited.
Okay. All right, Joey, I can barely hear you because of the music and stuff, but we'll spend a little more time with you next week, okay?
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right, Smoking Joe Smelter, everybody. If you're in the mood for a new truck or just something new to drive, go see Joe out there on Oral Labor Road, and he'll take good care of you. But don't sign the deal unless you get a buck shield. There you go. Hey, all right, we're going to talk with John here real quick. Now, John, policy is very important. A lot of folks, one of the biggest things I always try to advocate on the radio or the TV show is you have to be involved with conservation. If you hunt and fish, I don't care if you're a bow hunter, if you're a rifle hunter, if you're a waterfowl hunter, whatever. turkey hunter, you have to join a conservation group, Delta Waterfowl, National Wild Turkey Federation, Pheasants Forever, and get involved with what they're trying to do in your local community, because that is so important.
Well, and I think if you look across history, you know, you go back to the Pittman-Robertson Act, you go back to the duck stamp.
Tell everybody what that is.
The Pittman-Robertson Act is a surcharge on firearms and ammunition so it basically, the manufacturers send the money to the Fish and Wildlife Service, and then the Fish and Wildlife Service sends that back out to the states based on how many hunters they have.
That's right.
And so time and time again, hunters have proven that nobody cares more about conservation than hunters.
That's correct.
And hunters have always been willing to do more, whether it's in license fees or permits. You know, duck hunters decided they needed a duck stamp. And, you know, duck hunters have led the charge here in Iowa and I will. And all of those things are sort of the, you know, constant demonstration that hunters are willing to do more.
Well, and that's important because when you're looking for access or habitat is so important. Well, and that's one easy way for us to do that.
That's right.
You know, and I've always said, you know, back, you know, growing up in Missouri, we also have a conservation deal that was established in 1973, I think. 1/8 of 1% of everything that you bought that was hunting or fishing related went back to the conservation departments. And Iowa's been trying to get this Iowa deal done for years. Ever since I moved up here, they've been talking about it, John. But listen, if you want a place to hunt, if you want a place to fish, if you want a place to get out there and bird watch or other outdoor opportunities, habitat is the key to all of that.
Well, it is. And, you know, some nexus between habitat and access, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's challenging. You know, you're in a state like Iowa, and, you know, I grew up in Minnesota, big duck hunter, but when the duck seasons, I hunted primarily diving ducks in northern Minnesota, and, you know, that stuff, it frees up in early November.
Yeah.
And I would spend every weekend in northwest Iowa pheasant hunting.
Yeah.
And the reason I went to northwest Iowa as a kid from Minnesota was the Iowa DNR had, well, Iowa had a heck of a lot more pheasants than we did in southern Minnesota.
Right.
But the Iowa DNR had built an incredible network of public lands. And I remember as a kid, well, not that much of a kid, but a lot more kid than I am now, remembering walking and looking how well managed those WMAs were.
Yeah.
And
wildlife management areas for everybody if they don't know it.
And just, it was for a guy and a buddy or two that wanted to drive down from Minneapolis and hunt pheasants. And yeah, we knocked on a few doors, but we primarily hunted public lands. And the Iowa DNR had done, from my vantage point, had done such an incredible job of building those properties.
Our DNR, for the money that they have to do their job, I've said this I don't know how many times over the years, I know a lot of conservation people that are taking money out of their own pocket to do their job.
Right.
Because they don't have the budget that they
need.
And you got to applaud them for doing that.
Well, and the other thing is, you know, Iowa's a high-value agricultural land state.
Yeah.
And so your land values are high.
Right.
And so if the Iowa DNR is going to be acquiring habitat, managing habitat, it comes at a higher cost here than it would in a place like Wyoming or North Dakota or Montana.
Yeah. Well, you can get land in Montana pretty cheap, but you got to buy 1,000 or 100,000 acres on the deal. You can't buy 15 acres.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a different animal. Hey, Chris out in Pennsylvania. Good to see you again. He always wanted to go wood duck hunting. Brant, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're going to be out here. Look, you should see the puppies out here, Brant. You'd be in heaven. Good to see everybody on the live streams. Thanks. John Ardell, or Apel, thank you. Jordan, thank you. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for listening this morning. You know, I'm a big proponent, or not proponent, I'm an advocate of trying to get families to see that you don't have to be, I mean, I do this for a living, and John, I can't afford to go buy a farm.
Right.
I just can't. I'm 62 now, so that's past. But we do have good public hunting and fishing opportunities here in Iowa, and if that I will structure does get passed, it's even going to open up more opportunities. But I'm excited to see the fact that we were talking with Chris about this earlier. Since post-COVID, we've got so many more folks that are coming back to the hunting and the fishing world that there is a demand for opportunity.
Yeah, and the challenge we have is, and we saw it certainly during COVID, is our public lands kind of got loved to death.
They did.
Right?
Yeah.
And, talk to a guy that likes to trout fish in Montana. It's like, where the hell do all these people come from? But
well, they couldn't go to Canada.
They couldn't go to Canada.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things we're spending a lot of time talking about now is how we can leverage policy and funding, not for Delta Waterfowl, but how do we get these agencies more money to improve the conditions of our public lands? And, I live in North Dakota. It's probably easier to buy a farm in North Dakota than it is in Iowa, but I can't afford to do it in North Dakota either.
Yeah.
And so I'm a guy that spends the overwhelming majority of my time duck hunting on public lands. And I think, you look around duck hunting, there's a lot of us out there that rely on those public lands, and we need them to work for duck hunters, and we also need them to work for ducks and provide high quality habitat too.
Absolutely. Well, and as far as policy goes, whenever you're trying to get programs or more funding established, getting to know who your legislators, that is so important. And a lot of folks still don't understand this. If a legislator gets 5 or 6 calls in a week on one topic, they pay attention to that.
Absolutely. It doesn't take millions.
No, it takes 5 or 6 is a hot button for them.
Right.
Ooh, why is everybody upset about this?
Or why is everybody interested?
Yeah. And so if you and your hunting circle call your local congressman or your local senator and talk to them and say, listen, our family, we can't wait till opening day. We want to go hunting and fishing. We need more hunting habitat. We need more access. We need to have more programs from our DNR that aren't costing us to go to further educate our kids and get them. If you want to indoctrinate a kid on something, indoctrinate them on hunting and fishing, and you're going to give them a life skill that they're going to be able to carry throughout their entire life, and their quality of life is going to be so much better.
Right.
That's where I want to see the indoctrination.
Yeah, and again, I think we're at this moment in time where I think duck hunters generally, I think hunters of all stripes have understood that our reliance on the public lands is really high.
Yeah.
And, I think, did a talk on Thursday night about the National Wildlife Refuge System. And, there's a situation where duck hunters have acquired, either wholly or partially, more than half the National Wildlife Refuge System. That's 573 refuges in the United States.
Wow.
And I think we just took it for granted a little bit. But what I will say is, you made the comment about getting involved with these organizations, whether it's PF, turkeys, ducks, whoever it is. It's our volunteers that give us the information that helps us form our policy positions, because duck hunters are having an experience on a national wildlife refuge in Iowa, in Missouri, in Louisiana, in California that I can't have. Right? And so that feedback that we get from our members and volunteers really helps us start to understand what's most important to duck hunters out there on the ground.
Yeah, the thing I hear from doing the shows every week is, Dan, it's access and habitat. And Iowa does the best job that it can with our conservation. We got a good conservation.
You got a great department.
Yeah, I mean, Kayla does it at the director level all the way down, and all the way to their game wardens. And I've yet to have a bad experience with a game warden in 35 years of hunting. Some people, if you're doing everything right, you should never.
You may not run into them in the first place.
Yeah,
they could move on and check somebody else.
Because I guarantee you, half the time they're watching you whether you know it or not.
Yeah, that's right.
But our biologists, I have our biologists on all the time. They do such good things, and they interact with other states to see what the hatches are doing, to see what the if there's any spring mortality from the nesting season, predation, keeping predators in check. I mean, lining with trapping associations, trying to get trappers back. Because waterfowl is the same thing as turkey and our quail and our pheasants. We got to take care of carrying capacity. Everything needs to be managed a proper way so everything stays in balance.
Right. Well, and when it comes to ducks, we know that what drives duck populations in terms of the size of the number of ducks we have in the fall flight, it's all about what happens in that very short breeding season.
Yeah.
And, we need water on the prairies. We need small wetlands to get those ducks in the right place. And then, as you point out, we need to manage predation to make sure we get the best possible production out of those ducks that are settling there.
Yeah, and I've been encouraged, to be honest with you, John, because the last 4 or 5 years, I'm seeing a big upswing in trapping.
Yeah.
People are coming back. I mean, it's probably never. I mean, I know I got buddies that trapped in the 70s and the 80s. They went on some awesome hunts from the money they made from those furs.
Right.
And it's not there. It's not going to probably ever get back to where it was, but it is coming back a little bit, and at least it's paying for some of their expenses. But they play such a good key role in our conservation and management.
Well, I was at a conference last December down in Memphis, and they were talking. The trapping organizations were talking, and you know who's coming into trapping? And it's fascinating.
Ladies.
Yeah. Suburban women.
Yeah.
And which I think is sort of fascinating. But, you have this resurgence in 4-H and small age animal husbandry with bunnies and all the rest of this stuff.
Yeah.
And, when the raccoons are coming in and killing your prize chicken, or the fox is picking off one of your bunnies, it's suburban moms. It's just a fascinating sort of story.
I got a great story for you. So there's a lady that lives on the south side of Des Moines, and what was it, 4 or 5 years? It was 4 or 5 years ago. It was after COVID, and she started having chickens. She wanted the Des Moines. You could start having chickens on your property.
Okay.
Right? So she got some chickens for laying hens. Right. Well, the raccoons got in there, and they killed her chickens and took the eggs. I got an email from her. Can you come and take care of this for me? I said,
right.
I can't do that. I said, but get a hold of the conservation department, and they'll give you some tips and stuff. She started trapping.
Right.
She did live. I think she did live traps at first, and then one or two of the raccoons came back, killed her chicken. Then she started trapping and she goes, I'm starting to collect pelts, Dan. and she didn't like hunters at the beginning, and then that happened to her, and then all of a sudden she's pro hunting, pro trapping. It's amazing how things change when it affects them personally.
Well, I think you go into highly urbanized areas of the east, and everybody loves white-tailed deer until they're through the windshield of your Volvo station wagon,
or
right?
in the flower bed.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think, but just going back to it, I think there's real opportunities. I think the hunting community is starting to really organize around these issues about how do we improve public lands.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I think there's interesting things happening in Iowa right now that tell me the window may be open for I will.
I hope so. We were talking off air. That passed, I think it had like 63, 64% statewide approval. I don't see anything getting that much approval anymore. And the people were definitely wanting to get it. I don't know why it wasn't signed. I love our governor. I love a lot of our legislators. Anybody that serves, raises their hand, serves, they have my respect. But we just need to keep. There's no reason for that not to be passed, and everybody's going to benefit for generations.
Well, and I think there's probably a way to do it, moving from the public land over to the private land space. There's probably a way to do it that makes a lot of good sense for farmers.
Absolutely.
And creating the right kind of voluntary incentive-based programs to work on clean water, to work on habitat on private working agricultural lands that I think I think that may be the catalyst going into this next session with IWIL.
Yeah, and there are programs where farmers can let folks have access to their ground to hunt, and then they're going in there and they're improving the farmers have land.
Right, that's right.
And it only makes him more money down the road. So it's a good symbiotic relationship.
Well, that's the thing, and that's where things work. And as a guy that lives in North Dakota, and this is pretty much the case for, you know, the overwhelming percentage of the prairies, 90 to 95% of the fall flight of ducks we see every year is coming off of private working land.
Sure.
We don't own the conservation community, even including the Fish and Wildlife Service, doesn't own enough land to produce the kinds of ducks and fall flights that hunters want. So what are the ways we can work with farmers in ways that work within their operations, create the right set of financial incentives to conserve and enhance habitat on private lands?
Absolutely. 9:19 and some change. We need to take a real quick break. We'll come back and talk with John a little bit more. You keep it here on 106.3 KXNO. We'll be right back.
Damn, there was a hell of a line. There
was
a hell of a line. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think today is going to be. Well, Saturdays are always start calling. Yeah, Sundays are okay. No, I think you guys had a good turnout for first time on Friday. Yeah, I think that was sort of the center. I was telling Chris, I do the Iowa Deer Classic every year. I actually have a booth. I'm here all weekend. But Saturday, you can't walk the aisles. That's a late winter. First weekend of March. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. But if you guys came back here every 3 or 4 years, it would be like that eventually. Yeah. What's up, everybody?
So what the turkey was this season?
I don't know. It's going to get a little noisy. It's open. I hope you're enjoying the show.
And hey, look, that's Ripper one of these your best seasons. You're going to let them you
got people calling the station saying we got music playing.
Oh, you've been to hunting. If you are.
How long have you been doing radio today? I've been on the air every week for 20 years. No kidding. Yeah. You know my buddy Fred Ramsey who does it on occasion? I know of it. Yeah. I've been doing radio. I've been doing radio with Fred for 20 years. Yeah, I've been very blessed, John. My TV show was on for 20 years. Outdoor Traditions. I ran that on Fox Sports. Okay. And I retired that. I had a couple buddies of mine that were on the sportsman channel. And I said, well, guys, I got to slow down because I do my Sunday night show in St. Louis, and then I do my Saturday show here in Des Moines. And so I retired Outdoors Traditions, and I went to work with them at Respectable Meals. I did that for 5 years, and they had a big blow up, and I said, okay, you guys go figure out what you want to do. And I got another show called Bowstring Adventures. I started it last year. I'm going to do it this year, and then I'm done. Well, the production side. Well, I own it, so it just takes forever. But I told my partners, we had 75-some thousand people watching the show, and they said, Dan, do one more year. We like what you're doing. I said, I'll do it one more year, but I really want to slow down. Right. I always say, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him it's playing. But I would like to do the radio another 10 years. Yeah. Well, I mean, the challenge with that TV, and I've done enough that other folks know, well, screw up a good hunt, there's a brilliant TV camera. Something's all, so you spend so much time creating so little content. I'm sick of hearing all the gear. I sell film 90%. Right. It ruins my hunt. Right. I want to go hang my bow up and right, that's right. And be there for all the right reasons. Yeah. I've been very blessed to get to do what I wanted to do. Right. Because I still remember 30 years ago, I told people I want to do this for a living. Right. Oh, you're never going to make it. You don't have what it takes. That's been very good to me.
Is your house too dry?
I always tell everybody I'm never going to be the best hunter in the world. I'm just a guy who likes to talk hunting food.
And I'm going to do as much of it as I possibly can.
I did get one thing done. I set a goal. Turkeys were always my nemesis with a bow. And I said, before I'm done, I want to be able to shoot 100 toms with my bow. And I shot my 102nd tom this spring with a bow. I did get that goal done. That meant a lot to me.
Bring peace of mind on roof every day.
Andrew, are we coming okay? Is it clear? Okay. All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan on 106.3 KXNO. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday. We're out at the big Delta Waterfowl Expo at the Iowa Event Center talking ducks. If you like ducks, quack, 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 you are in the right spot right here. So I was telling Paul and Chris, I'm partially colorblind, so that's one of the reasons I didn't waterfowl. But you know, it's amazing to me. One of my buddies, Dan Brothers, out of St. Louis.
Yep, I know Dan real well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Dan has been doing the show. He's not done it the last year and a half, but he did the show with me on Sunday nights on the Big 550 for almost 15, 20 years. And, you know, Dan was always giving me credit about, you know, getting out there and waterfowl hunting. So I said, first of all, I can't see my colors enough. I don't want to get a ticket. And I said, you guys entirely put too many decoys out. I'm not getting up at 3 in the morning. I'll go sit in a tree, have my buck decoy or my tom or my Jake in my hand. I'm good, Dan. But, you know, I've always lived through Dan's stories.
Right.
Did you know Denny Dennis at all?
What's that?
Denny Dennis in St. Louis. Did you know Denny Dennis?
Boy, that name sounds
Him
super.
and Dan were
yeah.
Denny had the oldest sporting goods store in St. Louis.
Which was?
Denny Dennis Sporting
Okay, I'll be done.
Down in Fenton.
Okay.
And those two in a duck blind.
Yep.
I got to know Red Shaney's pretty good through Dan and Whitey Herzog. Those guys were prolific hunters.
Yep.
And boy, talk about a shot. Red Shaney's was probably one of the best shotgun shots I've ever seen in my life. You know Red Shaney's?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did a couple of pheasant hunts, but just I just after seeing Whitey and Red shoot and stuff, I just put my shotgun down.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of those guys. Well, there's not that many guys, but when you're with one of them, you're like, yeah, I may just sit over here and be quiet because I'm not going to be able to match up.
That guy could see the spin on a baseball.
Right.
You know, Whitey and them guys were, and I just love hearing the stories when, you know, folks, if you don't know who Red is, Red played for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was a Hall of Famer, and he's unfortunately passed on. But Whitey was the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, the White Rat. And just to hear the stories at camp and stuff, it was worth, I'll never forget that stuff.
Right.
You know, but Red would say, I was in the batter's box, and his eyes were so good, John. He could see the rotation on the ball. And I'm going, I wish I had that.
No, I tell you what, I was never a baseball player. My boys are, and my boys love it. But I couldn't catch a pop fly on a dare. And I'm impressed by guys that could hit anything, let alone major league pitching.
Yeah. It's a different world, that's for sure. You know, what are you excited about? What are you seeing around the Midwest that's got you really excited as far as what Delta Waterfowl is bringing to communities, and that's going to impact our folks for the next generation?
You know, I think we're on the verge of something with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, NRCS right now. Going back to that conversation about finding the right ways to work with landowners, we've been having great conversations with leadership at USDA and NRCS. I think we're really close to making a major announcement on paying farmers for those small wetlands and cropland.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the interesting thing about it is the most important wetlands to ducks are the ones that farmers are most frustrated about.
Yeah.
And so how do we find a way to create the right incentives for those farmers to not drain, keep those wetlands, and continue to allow farming, just don't drain the wetlands. And I'm hopeful that we're going to have a pretty major announcement here within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. as a waterfowl hunter, what's got you excited with the new technology out that people can see this weekend?
You know, I'm sort of amazed about, I started hunting when I was 4 years old. My dad took me to a place not far from where we lived, threw a burlap sack over me and told me to be quiet. and so how I came to love it as much as I do is kind of a funny story. But, I think in terms of things like waders and clothing, how far that has come.
Hey, I'm with you. I was just telling Paul, I said, does your feet ever get cold? And he goes, yeah. I go, what do you, he goes, well, I wear electric socks. I said, I got something for you. We got a partner, the Norlander Sock Company, that's alpaca hunting socks. She raises her own alpacas and stuff. But I'm telling you right now, if you got a good alpaca wool sock and you got a good insulated hunting boot, your feet will be amazingly comfortable.
Well, and it wasn't that way when we were growing up, right? I mean, cold rubber boots.
No insulation.
No insulation. Nothing was waterproof, short of a, diving suit. And so the technology and improvements in boots and waders and clothing, I'm not shooting any more ducks than I used to because of it. But I tell you what, I'm a lot more comfortable.
Well, and listen, if you're comfortable, what are you going to do? You're going to
probably spend a little more time.
And if you're out there more time, you're going to be more successful.
Well, and I think with kids, I mean, maybe we were willing to suffer through it as kids and have rubber boots that didn't fit and froze our feet. But with kids today, making sure they're comfortable is a huge game changer, I think.
Well, and I've always been a believer, if you outfit your kids or your wife is like you are outfitting yourself, because you want them to be an enjoyable experience.
Right, that's right. And so I think that's the biggest game changer I've seen, is just how much better clothing has become.
We were talking a little bit about decoys earlier, but the motion technology that they have on these decoys and stuff compared to what it was 30 years ago, it's crazy. All right, why is that buffer? Andrew, are we still good? Are we on the air still? Andrew, check. Uh-oh, I think we got a buffer. Andrew? Andrew's calling. Yep. We got kicked off the air. All right, I'm going to try to disconnect and connect again. All right. Hey, Andrew. I'm just going to call in on my phone. Okay? So hang on. Let me get my phone cord and we'll get on the phone real quick. All right, hang on. I was afraid of that Wi-Fi. Just English, John. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Too many people on the Wi-Fi. I was afraid of that when they said they didn't have a separate Wi-Fi. Yeah. All right. Call me on my cell phone. All right. Bye. Don't you love live radio? So the Wi-Fi disconnected. So you might want to tell Chris next year or whenever you guys
have dedicated.
Have it dedicated, yeah. Andrew?
Yep.
All right, we're back. Go ahead. Are you in a break?
Yeah, we're in a break right now.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. We're good.
You should be able to hear it through here.
I can hear you.
Okay. Good.
Go ahead.
I'll text you just in case you can't hear the commercials, all right?
Yeah.
Curved and serrated knives, tonto blades, fillet knives, gut hooks, axes,
We're back.
and fusion knives. The Work Sharp Knife and Tool Sharpener does this with precision angle sharpening guides and flexible abrasive belts to ensure the proper 20-degree angle every time. Each Work Sharp Knife and Tool Sharpener is assembled in the USA by a family-owned and operated company. Customer service is always a call away. So if you love the outdoors and depend on a sharp knife,
Well, how'd you like that? Doing the show, and next thing you know, we're off the air. We're back on now. We'll be all right.
or anytime at
I'm a professional.
worksharptools.com.
Have you been looking for a home away from home? RVs are the best way to see this country and experience the great outdoors.
I saw that doing that blast there, and I'm oh.
Has been helping folks for over
Kind of like the check engine light coming on.
Well, you know, we used to do ISDN lines,
Right.
you know, but everything's Wi-Fi now. You know, and it's like, if you don't have a dedicated Wi-Fi, you get all these people in here saturating off that Wi-Fi.
RV is located at 1727 South Ankeny Boulevard. One of the campers they feature is the Keystone Walkabout. This camper is designed for adventure and to be self-efficient off the grid. It features built-in solar panels.
Where were we at?
We're just talking about gear.
Deer?
Gear, yeah. Yeah, gear. Clothing. Yeah.
They also have a great financial.
I'm sorry, I went into panic mode here for a second.
affordable. So when you're
So when's the last time you talked to Dan?
check out
God, it's been a while, but I worked with him. You know, he was the guy that started that Budweiser.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to him. Yeah. But his son reached out to me here within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Steve?
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Outdoors Dan, Outdoor Call Radio, Delta Waterfowl Expo. Sorry about that. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Our Wi-Fi buffered, and the next thing I know, boop, we were off the air. So that's, you know, that you think doing a radio show is easy? Come on, walk a day in my shoes. Boy, poor John was about ready to do CPR on me because I thought I was going to have a stroke.
Boy, you would have been in tough shape because I haven't learned. I think I was certified at the office, but I'm not going to get you through a major cardiac event, I don't think.
Just do the old feeding call. Yeah. So, you know, technology with the motion decoys and stuff that they got out there, picking back where we were. Chris and I were talking about this earlier. You know, I still get excited when I get the catalogs.
Right.
You know,
No, I do too.
It's like Christmas, man. And I love seeing all the new things and out, and it's an exciting time to be in the outdoors.
Well, and I remember, you know, I'm old enough to remember mail.
Yeah.
Stuff in your mailbox with stamps on it and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you got those catalogs, you know, Cabela's, Max, Bass Pro, those fall hunting catalogs started showing up in September, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
we're closer, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's when the waterfowl part of those catalogs was about 8 pages, right?
Yeah.
But so, yeah, we're not that far away. It kind of seems amazing, but summer's pretty close to over. Dove season's pretty close to being here.
September 1st. Yeah. The last couple of days have been a little cooler. It's been so nice. I actually broke out my mossy oak vest, and I wore it this morning. And coming in, it's like I got to the top of the escalator and said, I don't need this.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. You know? You know, John, it's amazing the things that people, you know, we talk about getting prepared now. Get your gear out, look it over, look at your decoys, make sure your decoys are looking presentable, you know, clean them up, put the armor all on them, get them all nice and clean and shiny. This is a great event to come out and just see what's new out. And in this economy, people are willing to make deals, and you can really get into some new situations that you might not be able to do it online or something.
Well, yeah, and man, we've got a great complement of vendors.
Yeah.
And the best brands in the waterfowl business or the hunting business generally are here. And, you know, great opportunity to see all the new and greatest stuff.
Yeah. Hey, I forgot I was going to ask Chris or Paul about this. Excuse me. If the kids are coming out, and hey, come here. There's your hat.
Thanks, bud.
You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you. What is there anything, a little kids contest, or is there anything going on? I forgot to ask.
Boy, and you better ask Chris.
Okay.
I'm not,
You're the policy guy. But I know there's things for kids and families to actually get involved in.
Yeah, and my guess is they can pet a lot of Labradors when they're here at the very least.
And I said this at the start of the show. Who doesn't like the dog?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, my lab Raven is 7, and I'm already mourning him.
Yeah.
I know I don't have a lot more time with him. And it just, I mean, I don't think, honey, if you're listening, I apologize. I don't think there's a more stronger bond between a guy and his dog.
Yeah, it's pretty special, especially those of us that train with them a lot, you know, that hunt with them in the fall. It's pretty special.
Yeah, and I probably shouldn't apologize for saying that, because I'm sure Jenny loves the dog more than she loves me. You know? But I just I don't think you never get over that dog. I had a yellow lab named Muzzy, and Bo had another black named Bo, and when I was little, I had a Basset Beagle named Duke, and I miss those dogs.
Yeah, every one of them. They're all special in their own way.
Absolutely. And a hunting dog. Like I said, my upland hunting buddies, my waterfowl buddies, I take Raven shed hunting. I understand how much of a relationship and partnership that is with them.
Yeah. I've gotten to the point, I mean, I've got some buddies that I hunt with, but I spend a lot of time just being the dog.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy hunting that way.
Yeah. Last time I went upland hunting, you could tell I'm a bow hunter. I missed, I think I shot like 60, 70 times, and I missed 60, 70 times on these quail. And the dogs, John, they were working to get these birds flushed and stuff. I got to the point where the dog, I would shoot and miss, and the dog would just look
getting a little bit.
Yeah, like, hey, what am I busting my hump
for? Exactly.
you know you're not having a good day when the dog gives you a dirty look.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we got you guys here today and tomorrow. If people have policy questions, or if someone is a community in legislating body, or if someone is in part of the city council, town council, and they want to get into some outdoor advocacy for waterfowl, can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely, and we'll be here in the booth. Me and my team will be in the booth answering policy questions. And duck hunters, you know, I spend more time talking to duck hunters than I do legislators and administrators. So we want to hear from duck hunters about what they're seeing, the experiences they're having, and how we can make it better for them.
See, and I think every community, especially small town communities, every community should have a waterfowl weekend.
I agree.
You know, because what a way to tie the community together, to get kids excited about something. Have kids calling contests. You know, there's a lot of different things you can do that, and also get your park and rec department, you know, get them involved, and just grow everything around that community. And boy, you'd be shocked how many close ties you can build with something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I found out that John knows one of my buddies back in St. Louis, and you know, the hunting community, or the outdoor community, let me say it like that, it really is
pretty small.
It's amazing how everybody kind of knows everything.
Yeah, no, it's been that, well, I mean, we're all going to this stuff all the time, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, and I don't think I'd have it any other way, John.
Yep, no, I agree.
All right, if someone can't make it down this weekend, but they want to get involved with what Delta Waterfowl is doing, or they got questions for you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Call us toll free at 888-987-3695, or visit us on deltawaterfowl.org. Emails are all there. Phones are all there. Happy to help any way we can be of service.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you for having us, Dan.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for inviting us. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, John. There he goes, John from Delta Waterfowl, and they are quacking it up already. Boy, they got the calls going. You get out here, pack up the kids, put them in the truck. You can bring your dog. I think you can bring your dog in here. You can? Yeah. Bring the pet, bring the dog. And you know what? You might even take a dog home. I'm sure they got something up their sleeve up here. But anyway, Andrew, let's go ahead and take another break real quick, and we'll come back. I've got some outdoor information to pass along, and I got to announce the secret listener of the week, and we'll be ready to wrap it up. We'll be right back from the Delta Waterfowl Event. It's Outdoors Dan on the Outdoor Call Radio. We'll be right back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, John.
Much appreciated for making the time.
Give Dan a call. He'd love to see it from you.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Well, fishing trips to wild game cooking, survival, live cams, and more. It's the #1 streaming platform for outdoor content, and it's 100% free. Watch full episodes, short films, and podcasts straight from your browser, TV, or smart device.
Andrew, does this sound good?
0 subscription. Watch anytime, anywhere, always free. Carbon TV.
Andrew?
Today's episode of Bowstring Adventures was brought to you by Winsett Electronic Scent Vaporizer Kit and scents that will attract whatever you're hunting for. Deer, bear, elk, or other critters will come a-running once you get your Winsett vapor units working for you. Check them out today at winsett.com.
At American Family Life Insurance, we know that protecting your family's financial future is a priority, and life insurance is an easy way to help make that happen. You'll feel good knowing you've taken steps to protect what matters most if you were to pass away. Plus, life insurance is often more affordable than you think. Let's talk about options that fit you. Contact Darren Island, agent at 515-964-7575 today.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin. Taping your own hunts is an exciting way to capture the moment. Fourth Arrow camera arms can help you video easier in the field. They're extremely lightweight, durable, and easy to pack. Their patented shoulder system is also
What's up, everybody?
to any tree or ground line setup. The bases are affordable and easy to set up for various wind directions. Multiple camera
Boy, it's busy in here.
Stiff Arm Pro and Stiff Arm Elite. They're made of high-quality aluminum or carbon, depending on what you choose. For ground line hunters, there's the tripod and monopod option. They're quiet and maneuver easily within the blind. All models can handle Consumer Pro video and perform quietly in the field. You can even custom pick your setup with Fourth Arrow camera arms. If you're looking to tape your hunts this season, check out FourthArrowCameraArms.com. Outdoor stand approved for the field for great video action.
In these times when a lot of us are working from home, it's even more important to make sure your home is the right temperature and comfortable. Now is a great time to call the experts at Wyckoff Heating and Cooling at 287-6000 to schedule a check on your current heating and cooling systems. Is your house too dry and giving your family issues? Solve that issue right away.
We have presentations from vendors actually all the
serving Iowa residents and offer 24-hour service and programs like the Peace of Mind Plan for less than $15 a month. So if you want more time on the water or in the woods this year, please call the folks at Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for any of your home or business heating and cooling needs. One call to Wyckoff Heating and Cooling will bring you peace of mind under your roof every day.
All right, welcome back to the Outdoor Call Radio with Outdoors Dan, live at the Delta Waterfowl Expo. Last segment of the show. Andrew, how you doing, little buddy? You doing okay?
Hanging in there. Been some trials and tribulations, but I'm still hanging in.
Yeah, we made it. We got to go. We got to go. See, aren't you glad I brought my phone hookup? So just in case something happened, I tell you, be prepared, folks. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Going back to my Girl Scout days. So I got to tell you, it's really a lot of folks have stopped by, waved, and good. Thank you everybody for being part of the Outdoor Dan radio shows, and you'll never know how much that means to me when you stop by and say hi. And we always appreciate you doing that. All right, we're going to have our Iowa deer biologist on the show. I believe it's in the next 2 weeks. I had him on Buck Talk Radio. If you want to hear about some of the new deer changes Iowa's instilled and put in, or however you want to say it, go on my Dan Young or the Outdoor Call Radio Facebook page and look up Buck Talk Radio from Wednesday. And I had Jace on there, Jace Elliott, and we covered all the new rules and reg changes that Iowa's going to be having going into effect for deer season. It's worth a listen. He did a good job on that. Real quick. Iowa will now have 2 zones for resident deer hunting, Zone A, Zone B. Hunters may purchase up to 2 general deer licenses, including any combination of Zone A and Zone B license, consisting of no more than 1 archery season and 1 firearm season tag of choice. Zone B counties will include Crawford, Ida, Lyon, O'Brien, Plymouth, Shelby, Sioux, and Woodbury. And there's going to be the any deer license is going to be the big thing that people are going to really need to be paying attention to. And in Zone B, there will be no party hunting allowed. So you really need to pay attention to some of those rules and regs, and that's why I'm saying go back and listen. And then we'll have Jay, like I said, we'll have Jace on here, and we'll go over all that again and see how that goes. All right. The secret listener of the week is Tim Scottsdale of Fenton, Missouri. Tim is getting a $50 gift card to Norlander Socks. Norlander Socks. There's Tim Scottsdale of Fenton, Missouri. And congratulations. And we'll start it all again on Monday. So if you didn't win, don't worry about it. I will go ahead and tell everybody next week I am going to be giving it the prize for the secret listener is going to be a Tacticam Reveal camera. So we're going to give away a trail camera next week. So if you haven't downloaded the Outdoor Call Radio app, I would do it this weekend. And then starting Monday, just send me a screenshot of a show that you're listening to Monday through Friday. You can do it once a day. And then I will draw a winner on Saturday morning before I get to the studio. And then whoever wins, I will get that camera out to them. We gave away a Grizzly cooler last week. We're giving away socks this week and a trail camera. We always give away good stuff, Andrew.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We got a second here. Let me do the fishing report. The Fred's live bait and Trica fishing reports. Lake Wapello, bluegills are good, catfish are fair, bass are fair, raffin, catfish bites good, walleye are fair, crawler harnesses, bottom bouncers, trolling cranks are the best there. Crappie bites fair, wipers are good. Big Creek, crappie bites good, wipers are good. Des Moines River, Sailorville to Red Rock, channel catfish bite is good. Hickory Grove, gills are good. Red Rock, channel catfish bites good. Rock Creek Lake, crappie bites good. Greenfield, crappies, catfish, bass are fair. Lake Anita, water temperature is 82 degrees, up a little bit from last week. Crappie bites good, gills are good, bass are fair. Let's see, Meadow Lake and Adair. Oh, quit texting me, Martha. Black crappie bites good, gills are good, bass are fair. Prairie Rose, crappie bites good, gills are good, bass are good. And Little River Watershed, gills are slow, catfish are slow. 3 Mile is saying that wipers are slow. 12 Mile, gills are fair. There's your fishing report for the week. I got that done slick, didn't I? In and out. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Boy, I could spend a lot of money here right now. I mean, you ought to see the stuff in here. People, it's just amazing. Racks and Tracks Taxidermy in Knoxville. Thanks to Jeremy and Bree and all the family. They are back from the fairs. If you got questions, we're going to be starting that deer mount contest in September. We also have the Slim Knox County Whitetails Hunt to give away. We'll give that away at the Iowa Deer Classic, but we'll start qualifying people here in a few weeks. So we got a couple of exciting things on that. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I got anything going on. Outdoor calendar. The fine folks at Mid-Iowa Archers are going to have their big shoot this weekend. It's their annual buckshot shoot. All ages archers over the age of 12 will shoot a buck for $1. 12 and under are free. It's their annual shooter appreciation 3D shoot today and tomorrow, and that's going to be down there in Indianola. They're also going to have the first leg of the Southern Triple Crown. This will also be the first leg of the Southern Triple Crown. First leg is Mid-Iowa Archers this weekend. Second leg is going to be Wapello Chiefs Bowmen August 7th and the 8th. Third leg is going to be Hickory Ridge Bow Hunters and 3D and Indoor Archery Club on August 16th. So there you go. And I'll tell you more about that next week when we got a little more time. I need to tell you about Advanced Family Dentistry. Go see Dr. Obi-Wan Kenobi Yagi. If you're new to the area, you need a dentist, that's the place to go. Andrew and I both go there. You will not have better dental care. Hey, and if you don't have dental insurance, if you're having problems with dental insurance for you and your family, ask them about their self-insured dental insurance. I took it out. It was $400 for the whole year. I went ahead and just paid for the year, and my cleaning and everything was covered. I mean, it was really, really good. So get a chance, check them out at Advanced Family Dentistry. They'll take great care of you. 907 North Ankeny Boulevard, and we'll go from there, and we'll see what's going on. Also, real quickly, 964-1490 Herman's Fine Jewelers. If you're looking for a good place to go check out Herman's Fine Jewelers to buy something for a special occasion, 2900 University in West Des Moines. They've got over 10,000 diamonds and mountings in stock. They can do in-store jewelry repair, custom jewelry. Give them a call, 515-222-2600, 515-222-2600. Dr. Don's got the big golf tournament for New Life Counseling Center. You want more information about that, go check them out on Facebook or call New Life Counseling Centers, and they'll tell you about the big golf outing coming up. They got teams available, I do believe. I just dropped some prizes off for him the other day. So I think I am all caught up. Andrew, am I all caught up?
So far, so good. Yes, you're all caught up.
Yeah, Scotty Casper Takedown Wrestling is next. I'm sure they're going to have a figure four leg headlock and stuff for you to check out. We're going to have, I'll be back in the studio next week, and we'll be able to hear between the music and the goose calling. Andrew, I'm having a hard time here.
Oh man, there's so much action, you just can't handle it.
Oh, it's like little Tasmanian devils all over the place. But I have seen really nice looking dogs and stuff. I want to thank Delta Waterfowl for inviting us to cover the event and having us out for the show today. Kristen and everybody's done an amazing job. Everybody seems to be having fun. I want to thank our guests, Chris and Paul and John. They did really well on that. And other than that, I think we're good. Andrew, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm golfing. It's a golf weekend for me. Finally getting some time off.
You're finally getting what?
I'm golfing and getting some time off, enjoying just life.
Well, that's what I thought you said, some time off. You're always off.
If I start getting no, there's no off. I got kids. It's always off.
Well, I'm not going to say it because it's a family show. I was going to say, they make electric blankets and stuff. Quit snuggling. Bobby Nichols, thank you. Tom Jensen, top of the morning to you. Aaron, good to see you. Jeff, thank you. Do you want, Jeff, I honestly couldn't tell you I don't know what that is, but that's one of them deals. Jeff says I ordered a snow camouflage cap. Oh, I got my snow camel cap on. I love see, I got gray hair now, so that snow camel blends right in. I like it. So there you go. Andrew, we got a big week on the Outdoor Call Radio app. We got a couple new shows starting. We got Take Aim Adventures, and then the fine folks at Jinx Some Sense are doing the Healthy Herd with me now. I actually aired the first episode yesterday. Taking Aim Adventures will be on starting this week. And then the fine folks at Delta Waterfowl are saying they're going to come on board. So we'll have the Delta Waterfowl show on coming up in the next couple weeks. I want to thank Foils Migrators Calls. They're out of Campville, Illinois. They stopped by and said hi. They're back home where I kind of grew up over across the river from Missouri. And I think we're going to start carrying. They got a show that they're doing. We might carry them on the Outdoor Call Radio as well. So, all right, I am going to get out of here. You guys, if you need me, just go to the outdoorcallradio.com or outdoorsdan.com. It's the same website, easier whichever way. Thank you for spending 2 hours with me here at the Delta Waterfowl Expo event. And like I said, Andrew and I will be back at it next week, God willing. If you need anything, let us know. Other than that, hey, we're all in it together. Be good to one another and get outdoors as much as you can. Until next week, God bless. Stay tuned for Scott Casper and Takedown Wrestling on KXNO. Night, everybody.
You were hunting and a deer tick just crawled onto your leg and is burying its head into your flesh. You can't feel the bite and you may or may not find the tick.